Hello and welcome to another Demon 212 VC review. Today I'm going to take a look at Cruis'n USA on the Nintendo 64. This game, in case you don't know, is a racing game, and this is actually the 200th VC game to be released in Europe. Basically, there is 199 games available to be bought, but this is the 200th because of Mario Lost Levels. So many people are going to be a bit disappointed about that because, to be fair, look at our 100th game. While everyone claims, and even Nintendo claimed, that F-Zero X was actually our 100th game, it was JJ and Jeff. If you go to the final page on the VC and start at the very first game, which was Wario's Woods, and count up, JJ and Jeff is the 100th game. So no doubt, because there's technically only 199 games out to actually buy, people will start claiming that whatever we get next week will be our 200th game, and it'll be the best of the two or more if we get two or more. So anyway, on to the actual game though, because that's a bit of a pointless rant, but to be fair, there's not much to actually talk about in this game. The first thing you'll notice is it's actually got game packs for Player 1 and Player 2, just like you'd actually have on the N64. You'd be able to put a memory card game pack in and insert it, and I know immediately what a hell of a lot of you were thinking, because I thought the same thing. I thought Nintendo couldn't actually do this function, which is why we don't have ghost data on Mario Kart 64. So if they can do it on a game that, while I like it, is pretty poor compared to Mario Kart 64, why can't they do it on Mario Kart 64? And yes, there is a lot of resentment and anger in that tone there. So anyway, I've said that, I've let you ponder it for a little bit, post your replies at the forums or anything like that, or the comments, and post your rants. So let's continue on with the review. Obviously you've got the options here, which is just like music volume, sound effects volume. You can have the two-player sound, so basically player 1 will come out the left speaker and player 2 will come out the right, or vice versa. It's pretty hard to actually tell which is going on without shoving your head right to the speakers. You can choose the difficulty of the game, which it actually starts on low, but I'll put it on high for the hell of it, just to see what the hell's going on. And it actually makes the driving a lot harder. It makes you turning nowhere near as sensitive or as easy, so just letting you know that. You can put races on, traffic on, metric, which I imagine that's the miles per hour. I haven't actually switched it on just in case I do anything wrong to the game, so what the hell, we'll actually try it now. Centre of the screen, and the controller. The controller, you can actually change all different controls if you want to, by basically you push start on it and then you choose what you want to. So gas at the moment is up and up on both the D-pad and the right stick, so that's a bit dodgy. So you can have it R if you want to, or you can have it B, or any of the actual controls. So I'll just very quickly, if I can, actually set my controls up, although it's just reset them there for some unknown reason. So right, shift up, shift down, not shift down, display, radio, and rear view down. Well, to be fair, that's not rear view, it's just your view. Then you can choose your steering between high and sensitive. So all I can imagine is that is actually also, again, the difficulty. One thing on this, people who have bought the game now may be wondering how the cheats are going to work, because basically there's cheats to get extra tracks and there's cheats to get extra cars, and they're usually the things like you hold left, C left up and C down at the same time, and then push start on a certain thing. Unfortunately, because there are no buttons for most of those controls on this game, because it actually uses all the controls, so you've got C left and C up, which is Y and X, then it means those cheats are now actually physically impossible to do, because there is no way you can hold left down and right all at the same time on an analog. It's just absolutely no way. You can't hold down the right combination for, I don't think, any of the cheats, because it only gives you left and up. So that means that basically if you really like playing in the school bus, then you can't drive the school bus. Anyway though, tracks on the game, as you can see here, there's 3 easy, there's 4 medium, and there's 3 expert. There's also things like that, Cruis'n USA, where you do with them all, and there's things like that, which is just basically the random. And even though I haven't got any of them unlocked, the random will actually let me play on any of them, so that's pretty cool, because that's right from the start there. So then you go into automatic and automatic. I don't know what I was on there, but automatic gears, which are just like they'll change for you, obviously automatic whenever you need to, or manual, which is obviously the gear up and gear down. And then you get a car choose. So 4 cars on the game, the silver one's fastest, the Devastator I think it was called there. So I'll just start that off there. Graphically, I actually think the game's pretty good looking for an N64 game. It's the type of thing that you can, to be fair, you can tell it's an N64 game. The cars are blocky and the likes, but even so, it's still pretty good looking. You can use the D-pad or the analog to steer, which is something which I find quite important on the likes of Mario Kart, because every time me or my friends or my brother Sad Panda, who edits me videos for us, every time we put the game on, we always go for the D-pad, even though you can only use the analog. So anyway, the radio button, just in case you were wondering what it was, you basically choose your tracks. Personally, I think all the tracks on the game are pretty awful, and it's definitely the game that requires an iPod to play. But obviously if you're playing it with a friend in 2-player mode, which this one doesn't have 4-player like some of the other cruising games, just thought again I'd let people know that in case they were wondering. It's the type of thing where obviously you can't actually listen to an iPod because you have to communicate, but even so you can turn the music down and put a CD on or something, you know. Top right corner there you've got your position, you've also got that little map screen which shows you what's going on. You've got at the top there you've got the timer, at the top left you've got the elapsed time of how long you've actually been racing for. Bottom right you've got your RPMs and the likes, and your speed, your gear and stuff like that, and bottom left is your actual speedometer. I don't know why I said speed in the bottom right when it's the bottom left, but anyway, so other than that it's a standard arcade racing game. It's not something that's amazing, it's nowhere near as good as Outrun and the likes. It's something that many people are going to spend 1,000 points on and be disappointed with if they don't actually know what it is. This is basically a simplistic arcade racing game that you can just put on and have a bit of fun on, just like a bit of a nice chill out and break from shooting things and stuff like that. You can crash into cars if you want to for fun, or you can try and win the races. Obviously the whole point is to win the race in under the time limit that you've got, and your time gets extended from going through the checkpoints. So I don't really know what else there is left to say, to be honest, so I'm going to shut up for a few seconds and let you listen to the music. So there we go then, that was a bit of the music. The cut was there just simply because I went into the operations guide to find out what metric was, and I was right, it's whether or not you want kilomiles per hour or miles per hour. And I don't know why I keep saying kilomiles per hour, it's kilometers per hour. Then you get to choose your initials, but because I actually chose initials earlier on, which TSN isn't actually anything, it's just I was randomly choosing them, I don't actually know what button you push to go back, so you're pretty much stuck with the initials that you put in, so be careful with it, okay? That's pretty much everything there is to say. You might have noticed when you win the race and the likes, you get pretty much what can only be described as, well, a Mortal Kombat Dead or Alive person. That's because the sprite looks as if she came from Mortal Kombat, but they have a jump up and down, which obviously means that certain anatomy parts bounce up and down, as if she was in a Dead or Alive game. So, just thought I'd mention that. I don't know why they've done it, to be honest, I really don't. So there we go then, that's been the review. I hope you found it helpful. I don't score the games because that's based purely on opinion, so instead I'll leave you to make your own mind up. So thanks for watching, and if you've got any questions about the game that I didn't answer in the vid or that hasn't been answered in the comments, then feel free to ask and I'll help if I can. Also, if you did find it helpful, don't forget to check out my channel because there's plenty more like this up there, and don't forget to subscribe because there'll be plenty more to come as well. So until next time, this has been Demon212, signing off.